hold while we wait for the others to join.
I am a Gye-Nyame man. I was born for greatness. My greatness comes from my potent center. I pledge to find and connect with my center. I pledge to build my spirit, mind, and body. I pledge to use my hands to build a better world for myself, my loved ones, and my community. I pledge to use my mind to think deeper, further, and higher to create a better reality for myself. I pledge to live my life and go beyond all my self-imposed limitations. I pledge to promote the principles of the Gye-Nyame warrior and to assist all those seeking the path of success. I pledge all these things first to myself, my teachers, to all my relations, and to my higher power. I am Gye-Nyame. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. That is the Gye-Nyame prayers that is said by all of our true members at least once a day. Peace and welcome to our YouTube channel. Check out our videos and podcasts. Subscribe as well as join the journey. Push past your self-imposed limitations within the Gye-Nyame journey. Peace.
Too black.
What's up, fam? Yo, this is Brother Hot Tim coming at you live and direct. Well, if you on Spreaker right now, it's not live and direct. One, I had to kind of change the format because I was not satisfied with how the sound would come in and out, how the show would be cut. So I wanted to make sure that my Spreaker fan base, right? My fam on Spreaker, let's say that. My fam on Spreaker was able to get the full show. So right now I am streaming live on Facebook. I am streaming live on YouTube, but it will not be live on Spreaker, unfortunately, right? I'm streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube for this reason. There is some interaction on those platforms. So I like the interaction, but I want to make sure that my people on Spreaker are able to get the full content. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure that it's fair. But of course, I got to remind you, you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I am your host, Brother Tim, and this is, I'm going to call it Pissed Off Kuumba, right? Because we wasn't able to do freestyle Nia, because y'all know I changed the days of the week, right? But we still got to cover the news. I want to do this morning toast real quick. I want to salute the principles that I'm working on, because every day, you know, we got to strive to work and improve how we live. I'm struggling every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get better at what I do every day. It's a struggle, you know, but we got to do it, right? Now, this is a Heart of a Simple production. And the goal is I'm striving to blow up your old paradigm. Now, this show will piss some of you off because of the article that I am going to eventually hit. So I'm warning some of you in advance, right? Those of you that are listening to the podcast, I'm warning you in advance. It's going to be discussing Christianity. I found an article about Christianity that asks some very pertinent questions. Now, and what I need is for those people that will call in or those people that comment, I don't want a testimony. What I want is discussion around it. Testimony on either end. Because I got people that practice Christianity, and that's their faith and that's their belief, and and they have that right. And then there's those on the other end that may listen to me that may not. You know what I'm saying? And may have some anger. I don't want it coming from either end. I want us to have an intelligent conversation about the article that I'm going to be bringing up, right? That's all I want. So other than that, we can keep it moving. I just want to make sure we got peace rolling off. Man, I swear, it's always something. So I got stuff popping up on my YouTube and continuation. And in order for me to continue, I got to send another post out. Still streaming. I don't know what's going on. All right. I'm trying to learn how to type fast, but I haven't mastered it yet. But here we go, folks. Early in the morning, I know y'all like, what are you doing up, Brother Tim, on a Saturday? Up early. Well, I came in last night. I stopped over my sister's to drop my nephew off from school, and we was talking, and I was just tired when I came home. So what I want to do first, for those that just checking in for the toast, I'm going to do the toast so that y'all can go on about y'all business so I can go and finish my show. Of course, you know the show is brought to you by that ambrosia, right? This is the drink created by Gye-Nyame Journey. It is a it's green tea and a raw honey kombucha. Very tasty, very powerful. You know what I'm saying? You can look up the benefits. You go to GyeNyameJourney.com. You can read about the basic ingredients. And then I have some other articles about the mixture, some of the mixtures that I have. So today I'm opening up the original. This is the original, and we're gonna sip on this, right? We're gonna sip on this and do a toast so that we can get this day started. And then we're gonna move right into the show. Shouts out to Miss Victoria. I see you. Thank you for tuning in. All right. So one of the things I learned while I'm brewing, right? I learned about culture because it is a culture that brew this. I want y'all to see that. Y'all see that? Look at that. Those on Facebook, I want you to see that. Look at that. Oh my God. All right. So I let this one sit just a little bit too long, so it's not as carbonated as it was, but it's still not exploding. So I need those people who are sipping with me on the ambrosia. I need y'all comments. Do you like it super fizzy, or do you like it like this, nice and settled? Look at that. Right? I know some of y'all saying, it looks like a beer, but it's not a beer. Very little alcohol content, but it is fermented. So those that are sensitive to alcohol, you know what I'm saying, beware when you are drinking this because there's small amounts. But you can't get the good without the bad. I need y'all to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Law of polarity. There's some good, there's some bad, right? And in this, it's packed with probiotics, right? And there is a correlation between a lot of ailments and the amount of live bacteria and live healthy yeast that we got going on in our body. And that's why I formulated this. I started thinking about how could I make something that can add value to people's lives. And this is one of the things I got. When you donate to Gye-Nyame Journey, especially if you live in the city, I try to make sure I get some of this in your hands. So this is to Kuumba, the day of creativity. We're toasting Kuumba. I'm toasting the creativity in you. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you are able to create something in your life that you want. I hope that you're able to take what's old and make it new again. That's part of creativity too. So we toast it, and as we say in the journey, 100 years, y'all. Cheers. Oh, man. So this is my breakfast. Let me run my program down to you. What I'm working on right now is I'm working on changing some things. Now, I got some old things that popped up that I'm gonna need some of y'all help with because a lot of y'all are around me. Some of y'all that may listening to this are around me, and y'all need to kind of remind me because I got to wean myself back up off this goddamn tobacco. I don't know what the hell happened. I went a whole year. I put the tobacco down, and I just picked that shit back up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know whether it was part of the detoxing and I start fiending. I don't know because at the same time that I start brewing and I start drinking this, a lot of old stuff start coming up, old thoughts, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, as I'm cleaning out, and some of y'all need to be aware of this, when you start cleaning out your body, a lot of old stuff start popping up. So you got to be strong in that shit. And y'all gonna help me because we're gonna make it through this, right? But hold on. So my morning program runs like this. I wake up, I do my Ashe breaths, which I'm gonna do a video on Ashe breaths. And for some of those that either you could get the book, you get the Ashe breath meditation, or you know what I'm saying, if you donate, you get the ambrosia. It's your choice. But the point is, I'm trying to make sure that I fill up my timeline with content that can add to your life, right? So I'm doing a breath based on, they call it the Wim Hof breathing technique. But what I have done is I have added some cultural elements to that because I honestly believe that culture cures. And I got that from my older brother, Albino, Big Albino Sr. out in New Mexico. He says, La Cultura Cura. And it says culture cures. So everything that I'm giving to you is coming from the cultural context of Africa, the cultural context of Africans in America. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to find ways to plug back into our culture so that we can start becoming better. So part of my morning program is I do at least 3 rounds of the Ashe breath. Then I drink me a little bit of water. Then I drink some ambrosia, right? And then I go the rest of the day without eating until after 5 p.m. I've been able to stick to that. It's been at least 30 days because, like I said, I sampled this for about 30 days before I put it out. I experiment on myself before I start allowing y'all into my experiments, right? So I want y'all to know, you know what I'm saying, that I am my guinea pig, right? So I'm doing Ashe breaths, and Ashe breaths, I'm gonna show you those. I'm gonna do a video on those so that you can do it. Like I said, you follow, you join, you send me you inbox me. I will send you the link, and you will have access to the Ashe breath. I will show you how to bring in the breath. I will show you what you need to do. It's based on the Wim Hof breath. The only difference is I threw some cultural elements in there for us, right? For us. Anybody can benefit from it. Don't get me wrong, right? But specifically for us. Now, what else is going on with Gye-Nyame Journey? Actually, this time it was Baby Bubba. For those that don't know, sending shots out to Brother Deshaun out there. Brother Deshaun looked at the calendar that I put together for the Nguza Saba, because the Nguza Saba challenge that I put together for him. And he said, bruh, why don't you put the day names on there? I said, damn. So coming soon, we will be adding to the calendar. 1, the day names, right? You can look those up, you get the definitions, because you will be surprised how accurate the day names are for the days that you're born. So not only can you focus on your principle, but then you can identify what day you was born on and do some extra study on you, right? Because our ancestors, right, would study the stars and study each other. They studied themselves, and they were able to come up with names based on the day you was born. And when you look at what these names tell you about yourself, they're brief. Tell you about yourself is amazing. When I read Kwabena, because I found out I was born on Tuesday. When I read Kwabena, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. Why? Because it described me. I read it. I mean, even all the way down to me getting shot and why I got shot. The shit blew my mind, and I'm quite sure it will blow yours too. You know what I'm saying? We got to start plugging back into our ancestral ways of thinking and update them so that they can benefit us right now, because the process is the same. We got to go back to the process. Some of the stuff that no longer applies, we need to get rid of, and we need to bring it in to the modern times, because it will be powerful for us, right? It will be healing for us, right? And in us healing, when we heal ourselves, this country can go nowhere but up. Where we are, anywhere we are, when we become the better when we become the better we, thought somebody was coming in the door. You know what I'm saying? I was getting in warrior mode, right? When we become the better we improve any situation, any country, any place where we are. This is where I think people go wrong with the argument about reparations. Of course, y'all know I ramble. This is where I feel people go wrong with the argument of reparations. In the 48 Laws of Power, they basically say never remind a person about a debt. Nobody wants to pay a debt. Nobody want to feel guilty. Nobody want to feel bad that they owe you money, right? So what you do is you remind them, or you tell them about the debt in a way where they understand that by paying you what they owe you, it benefits them, right? As Africans in America, those of us who came through the slave trade, because I know some of us don't believe that, right? And that's cool. But I can trace my line back to plantation, right? But this is the point that I'm making. When you remind people, when you tell people about a debt, they don't want to pay it. Y'all know how you feel when a bill collector call you. What the fuck you calling me for? Why you bothering me? Right? You know how you feel. But when people approach you and let you know how you paying this thing will benefit you or how it can benefit you, it makes it easier. As a matter of fact, you might be a little bit more hyped to go and pay it back. Right? So check this out. Reparations should be brought from a standpoint of by America, in a sense, paying the African Americans for the struggle and the tragedy, the Mayafa, right? What they do is benefit themselves. Why? Because who better to stimulate the economy than the major consumers in the economy? And how do you get them to stimulate the economy? You put money in their hands. How many houses is going to be bought and built? How many cars is going to be bought? That's the angle we got to approach it from, right? Because, of course, these motherfuckers don't want nothing that they think is going to just totally benefit us. But you got to make them see how it's going to benefit everybody. Shouts out to Brother Kente. Thank you for joining us, man. If you want to call in and join the conversation, the number is 614-556-4535. I'm streaming live on Facebook. I'm streaming live on YouTube right now. This is my show because I was supposed to do it last night, but I'm getting up covering the news right now today. So, getting back to my personal program, right? In my personal program, the whole piece is to sharpen myself up so that when I'm doing these podcasts and I'm doing these broadcasts, I could go. My mind is a little bit clear. I'm able to move a little bit faster. I'm sipping on ambrosia. I'm doing my Ashe breath. I'm doing my morning salute. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But all these things I will make available to everybody that's in the journey. Sign up. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the YouTube station. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Like us on Facebook. Send me an inbox. Let me know what you want. Do you want the book? You can have any one of my books. I got a PDF. You can have that for free. You know what I'm saying? Even the latest one coming out, right? And if you want it now, I get it to you now. The only issue is that it's not spell checked, but I will have it done, be able to get it to you, right? Also, those that make donations, you get that ambrosia. Why am I doing all this? One, I'm trying to build it up because one, I honestly believe that if we're not tribe building right now, you know what I'm saying, we're at a deficit. We're at a loss, right? Our enemies are tribe building. They're building tribes. Our enemies are doing it, right? They're going out into the field. They're practicing maneuvers. You know what I'm saying? They're building co-ops, and a lot of them ain't doing it against us. But what we have to understand is that when times get hard, people go back to groups of people like them. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to understand the only reason that we're comfortable right now is because there seems to be an abundance. But if something happened, right? If something happens, it's going to be about you and your family. You and your family and those good friends that you built. And that's what Gye-Nyame is all about, right? It's about bringing our kids together, right? It's about bringing us together. It's about us learning how to fall out without getting destructive and getting stupid. That's what nation building is about. Because we don't all have to agree. Unity don't mean everybody's in agreement. That, you know what I'm saying? That's some bullshit. We got to always remember that. And unity is not about us all agreeing. We don't all have to agree. You know what I'm saying? But what we do have to do is understand that there's an end goal. We might all disagree on how to get there, but if we all understand that's that end goal, we're going to work together to get the goal accomplished. Right? So like I said, I'm going to make all those programs available to anybody that signs up for Gye-Nyame Journey. That's it. Right? So now let's get into the news because there's plenty of fuckery afoot. There's plenty of fuckery afoot, right? Right now, in the world, it's a whole lot of stuff. And like I said, I put a disclaimer at the beginning of the show. I told y'all that the issue that we're going to discuss, the last article that I'm going to cover, I'm going to read the whole damn thing. This is not my opinion. This is somebody else's opinion, and it's about Christianity, so I know I'm going to step on some toes. I don't want people on either end of the spectrum calling in with their goddamn story. I just want to discuss the point at hand. I want to discuss the article. I don't want your testimony about how good Jesus been to you, and I don't want your testimony about how much you hate Jesus. I don't want that shit. I want to have an intelligent discussion for those that want to join at 614-556-4535. 614-556-4535. I'm going to read the article, but before we get to that article, let's go into some of the other news that's out here. Some of the trifling news that's going on. All right, so right now I'm perusing an article. I don't know if y'all heard about this shit. Oh, what's up, Brother Duvall? You in New York? What? Oh, but this ain't New York, this Chicago. What's going on with these big cities, man? Shouts out to Duvall. I got to see him in person. I ain't seen him in a long time. I'm sipping on this ambrosia, and I'm kicking it. All right, we got Chicago torture video. No bail for 4 suspects. Now, first off, me and my crew back in the day, we were wild. I will admit, but I don't think that we would have been dumb enough. We had video because we was trying to do little movies back then. So you know what I'm saying? We had video recorders and shit. But I don't think we was this goddamn dumb. Why would you live stream yourself torturing a motherfucker? Right? Help me. Can anybody out there answer that? You know what I'm saying? We got our young people. We got one of the little brothers is snarling in the what's going on? We got to reach out to these young people, yo. Something's not right. But yo, let's look at this article real quick. 4 young people accused of torturing a Chicago special needs teen and broadcasting the incident on Facebook Live were ordered held without bail Friday afternoon. Hold on. I'm just like, I ain't going to read the whole thing. You can see it for yourself. This is on, if it's not on the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline, it is now. So, as they was torturing, I'm assuming it was a white boy. I ain't going to say little, it was a white boy. He was hanging with some brothers. One of the little boys, it sounded like one of the young dudes got upset because his mama kept calling, talking about where my son. He got mad and started torturing. I mean, goddamn, there's better ways to deal with your anger, right? For real, right? So he started torturing him. Him and 2 more girls, and another dude. They start torturing him, talking about fuck white people. Fuck Donald Trump, blah, 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 blah. Listen, for those that don't believe that the balloon is about to go up, right? I'm just saying, man, let's be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Fam, wherever you are, man, make sure you are able to get those basic needs because it's going to be crazy. Make sure you got people you could depend on. Good friends. I'm talking about real friends because it's going to get hard out here, man. Especially with dumb shit like this happening, right? This shit is unexcusable. First off, the post it on Facebook. Second off, just to do this shit, right? I don't understand. So, of course, the right-wing media start talking about these are people that's involved with Black Lives Matter. This is something I learned at Ohio State a long time ago, right? You do not just have open organizations where anybody can say that they part of your shit. No. Gye-Nyame, nah, we don't do that shit. Nah. Back, we ain't do that shit. Underground, nah. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? You need to go through an introductory course. You need to be initiated, goddammit. Because you have these individuals that's going out here doing all types of fuckery, and next thing you know, you are charged with Shit, they can get you on racketeering if it's an organization. See, they trying to make something. See, what y'all don't understand is they're trying to make some of this shit stick to BLM or Black Lives Matter, even though, you know what I'm saying? Because if they could get one of these crimes to be directly connected to Black Lives Matter, they could take their whole organization down on the racketeering charges. You know what I'm saying? And that shit don't start with no small years. They could shut their whole shit down. Anybody carrying that shit, anybody claiming it, if they could connect it and treat it like a game, that's what they would do. And haul every last protester into jail. Y'all got to understand, man, they not playing with us. We playing with them. We the only motherfuckers playing. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least we the only ones playing that don't understand the game. Let's start learning this game. Let's start teaching our kids the game, right? Because it is a game, right? The thing is, you got to play with all seriousness, right? Man, so I'm on my first bottle of that ambrosia. Hey, next article. All right, I got one up there about yet another reason dinosaurs were screwed. So they got some more reasons why dinosaurs died. I won't read that on here today. You go to Gye-Nyame Journey Timeline. You can follow that. We have something from News, CDN News, cdn.newsrep.net. That's a lot of dots up in there. I'm thinking it's a right-wing thing. It says, here are 7 ways Obama is sabotaging the Trump administration. Brother Kente say, lack of kicking your child's ass or something like that. Bro, I can't see what's being streamed across because I got 2 cameras on one. So, but hey, thanks for the comment. I got a question. How do you fuck up a president that was already fucking up from jump? This motherfucker is tweeting his thoughts. We're moving into a Twitter presidency. Just it boggles my mind. Just think about that shit. We got a motherfucker that's gonna be ruling shit by Twitter. Now, those of you that are smart, when Trump tweets against a company, it might be wise to watch that company's stock, right? Because when he tweets against a company, what I seen in the last time is that the stock went down. That's when you buy that shit, right? Then you can make a quick come up because, of course, people going to realize that he just talking shit. Then he's going to come back and do the double talk. This is called double talk. Well, first he'll dog you. Then he'll come back and be like, oh, they're a great company. This is a great guy. You're a great guy. That's what he just did with the intelligence community. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I respect their efforts. You know, first he didn't trust them to carry water into his office. Then he get a briefing. Then he comes out, oh, I have a great respect for them and blah, blah, blah. That's double talk, right? That's the usual politician bullshit, right? But since we got a TV president, he's going to carry it all the way out. He's going to tweet. He's going to so look, and he's giving people who was already having problems permission to do the fuckery that they doing already. All right. So, you know what I'm saying? So Obama, they got him snarling on here. Y'all got to look at this shit. And y'all got to understand how they play with symbols and images. Become symbol literate. Look at the picture they got of Obama on here, right? Like Obama is purposely trying to throw some roadblocks up for Donald Trump, right? And he could. And he's allowed to do, because that's what they do. They play political games. But you know, they're always gonna work to make you look bad. Here's some interesting things about marijuana. Now, I'm talking about us as a people getting involved with this marijuana game, right? It's becoming legal in all these states, right? Some of us got relatives with land down south. Some of us got relatives with land near where we are. You know what I'm saying? We need to really start looking at how to get in this game, because this is a game that we can control all the way from the seed to the weed. Damn, that was a good rhyme. We could control this shit from the seed to the weed. You know what I'm saying? We could, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all got land with water on it. We could get our own wells. We could start growing this weed. You know what I'm saying? And we could start, that's a business. It's a legal business all over the country, right? Legal. Hey, Kente, don't just like this shit. Share. Those people that are listening, don't just like my videos. Share them. I'm trying to build an audience. Help me build. All right? All right, let's look at some of the things, some interesting things about marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all probably out there smoking on some right now. The year is 2016. Thank you, bruh. The year is 2016. Was a big one for marijuana in the United States. Several states passed new legislation allowing legal use of cannabis in some capacity. And states that were already approved for legal pot, you saw huge dividends from marijuana sales. In fact, the industry as a whole generated, listen, more than $6.7 billion. Hold on. Oh, they're going to stop it right there. They ain't going to let me continue. Come on, man. I see what y'all doing. So they want me to buy a subscription. I'm not doing that shit. We know what marijuana do. So I ain't gonna go farther on the article. Now, there you go. You know, all these games. You know what I'm saying? I know the rules. At least I know some of them. All right, now, also, they have a mysterious illness tied to marijuana use on the rise in states with legal weed. So basically, you have multiple people getting sick from smoking weed. Now, this is all that hybrid shit. This is when, you know, when you start doing, they doing the genetic splicing and shit. You know, I mean, all this super weed, y'all call it, young folks out there calling it gasoline now. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. Listen, baby. Listen. That shit is genetically modified. You need to find some of your mamas. My fault, some of y'all mamas is. Y'all need to find some of your grandmama's weed. You know what I'm saying? That real shit. All this shit that's coming over here, that's crossbred, they done genetically modified it with monkey hair and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to be careful of that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why we need to grow our own shit, right? We need to grow our own shit. Listen. Mysterious illness. I won't read it, but it's on Gye-Nyame Journey timeline. Go to Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, right? All right. Now, this is one I wanted to cover. And I think this might be the last one unless some good shit pop up. All right. They're going to cut me off. Let me see if they'll let me read more before I even get into it. Yes, Lord. Here we go. All right. Y'all ready for this one? Get ready. Where's my lightning? Where's my lightning? Ambrosia, that cool, refreshing dream. Y'all got to excuse me. My sponsor makes me have to endorse their product every couple of minutes, so they're going to just take me off their payroll. So I like to drink, but I don't like it that much. Oh, bruh, I'm telling you, y'all sleeping on that ginseng ambrosia. Y'all slipping. Y'all slipping. You need to get your hands on some ginseng ambrosia. And those of you that do the personal orders, right, it's going to cost you just a little bit more. But we could do that super ginseng ambrosia. Or if you have an herb of your choosing that you would like me to mix into some ambrosia, hit me up. This is crafted stuff, right? This is crafted. You're responsible for the herbs that you bring, right? You know what I'm saying? The combination that you make. You know what I'm saying? You paid for it, you bought it, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to be sitting over here with some super nasty shit. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, usually it's the nasty, bitter stuff that is really good for you. All right? But I'm going to keep it moving. Let's get to this article. Y'all ready? Y'all be thinking I make shit up, right? But listen to this. I didn't make this up. Are the aging elite literally feasting on young blood? Creepy Rockefeller Research Advanced Eternal Quest. This is the Daily Sheeple. This is from the Daily Sheeple. So let's see if they're serious. Are the aging elite literally feasting on young blood? Creepy Rockefeller Research Advanced Eternal Quest. Editor's note. Stories like this one seriously make you wonder if the film The Island is based on fact after all. Though it seems like science fiction, it is a fact. It is, in fact, based in reality. Some of the wealthiest foundations on the planet have sponsored ongoing research that date back to the 50s, wherein scientists attempt to transfuse the vital, healthy blood of young individuals into older and more fatigued recipients. And apparently, it has demonstrated considerable positive effects, at least in the lab study with mice. Nonetheless, the treatments are already taking place in select labs in some of the most expensive area codes on the map. Ooh, hold on. And where the elite seek methods and procedures for delaying death for as long as possible. It's creepy, but it's happening. As Vox reports, Vox is a YouTube channel, right? Y'all need to go on and y'all need to check that out. Let me see what some of these people are saying on Facebook. Kinte said, back on what's going on with our kids, the lack of kicking your child's ass is backfiring on the whole community. Shouts out to Tuba Israel. Shouts out to Kinte Ahmad. Shouts out to Deval Sass. Shouts out to Victoria. All right. Let me get back. Let me put it back. YouTube, get back up there. Ooh, YouTube done failed. YouTube has fallen and it can't get up. Hold on, YouTube. Let me help you. Oh, no. Don't switch the camera on me. How I turn it back around? No. Call in. Hold on. Call in. Listen, 614-556-4535. Call in, join the conversation. If you on my timeline in any form of fashion, you will see the text come across. All right. Oh, shit. Just drop me off of... No, God damn it. That's not what I asked you to do, phone. It's not what I asked you to do. Hold on. All right. I know y'all excited to hear about what the Rockefellers are doing. Continue. No, part 2. It dropped me off, y'all. All right. We back up. Call in. 614-556-4535. Bow. Let's keep it moving. All right. By the way, for those that don't know, Vox is a YouTube channel where they do highly researched YouTube posts. Vox, V-O-X. You can see this article on my timeline. There are widespread rumors in Silicon Valley where life extension science is a popular obsession that various wealthy individuals from the tech world have already begun practicing parabiosis. That's what it's called. Spending tens of thousands of dollars for the procedure and young person's blood and reporting the exercise several times a year. Now, repeating exercise several times a year. Question. If somebody with a lot of money If someone with a lot of money approached you and asked you, they say, look, I done research on you. Better yet, why don't you come to the lab, take a blood test? You're healthy, and if you allow me to do a blood transfusion with you, I will pay you $10,000. Would you do it? Just a question. If somebody approached you and asked you to do a blood transfusion with them, and they give you $10,000, would you do that shit? Right? They'll take your young blood or your healthy blood and put their unhealthy blood or their old ass and tired blood in you. Would you do it? All right. The early research is groundbreaking and exciting, he says, but the interest in parabiosis is already getting ahead of the research. He fears that science will be maligned by a rush to market. Youth serum, or worse, a black market for young people's blood will arise out of the hype. Watch your babies. Watch your babies. It seems that old rumors and loose talk about rich and powerful barons in the ranking power structures drinking blood of babies and so forth and so on may not be so wildly off base after all. After all, many have speculated where the bizarre bloodshot eyes of David Rockefeller are in a photo below are not evident of many attempts at treatment to keep an aging oligarch alive. He is now 101 years old. And if I'm correct, he had two heart transplants. Listen to that shit. That's two where my lightning? Well, two. The question is all the more relevant because his family, who have sponsored more medical and scientific research than perhaps any other American family, have funded investigations into genetics, longevity, social behavior, eugenics, chemotherapy, and modern medicine that have defined breakthroughs. For instance, a 1943 report from the Rockefeller Foundation discusses their involvement with mining blood for its qualities, both known and unknown. Mining blood. Mining blood. Thus, that started as an inquiry into the practicability of using animal plasma as blood substitute for transfusion purposes, has developed into a program of mining blood for its individual substances and for testing these concentrates for therapeutic and prophylactic use. Prophylactic use? Okay. Knowledge gained in a laboratory devoted wholly to the problems of pure science has been turned quickly and effectively to meet immediate human needs. Rockefeller Foundation, just a few other key foundations, have dominated the restructuring of scientific research and funding direction of research and development. There's a large movement, I'm just saying, there's a large movement out there for people out there looking for eternal life. More quietly, they have also been responsible for suppressing many cures and breakthroughs that did not meet their agenda. Those fruits have been enjoyed behind the veil, if at all. A contributor on Natural News, Rap Torment, dug up some very damaging research that was being conducted in 1957 and sponsored by the foundation. Parabiosis refers to the transfusion of blood from one subject to another, literally combining the circulatory system of two animals. Some scientific studies have shown reported health and longevity benefits to older mice if paired with younger mice. This came into the mainstream view with headlines about tech billionaire injecting young people's blood for life extension. Many articles detail the very wealthy interest in the process of transfusing the blood of the young for its rejuvenating properties. Any of the recent articles on the subject are carbon copies of each other, all referencing the same report in the journal Nature, mentioning only the same part of the edited entitled Asian Research, Blood to Blood, not considering the deeper implication. In the past few years, however, a small number of labs have revived parabiosis, especially in the field of aging research. By joining the circulatory system of an old mouse to that of a young mouse, scientists have produced some remarkable results. In the heart, brain, muscles, and almost every other tissue examined, the blood of the young mice seems to bring new life to aging organs, making old mice stronger, smarter, and healthier. It even makes their fur shinier. Now these labs have begun to identify the components of young blood that are responsible for these changes. But they never talk about what happens to the young mouse that they're getting the goddamn blood from. I mean, am I the only one that's noticing this shit? What about the young mouse? Raptorman draws a connection between experiment work sponsored by the Rockefeller Foundation and the secretive Office of Naval Research. Now we back into the government. How young is the blood needed for the effect? How is the blood obtained? But nobody asks, what happens to the young person that gets the old fucker's blood? About the first question, again quoting from the same article, the Journal of Nature, just a few paragraphs down, this part was conveniently left out of the mainstream pieces. Clive McKay, a biochemist and gerontologist at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, was the first to apply parabiosis to the study of aging. In 1956, his team joined 69 pairs of rats, almost all of differing ages. The linked rats included a 1.5-month-old paired with a 16-month-old, the equivalent of pairing a 5-year-old and a 47-year-old. It was not a pretty experiment. Oh, here we go. The very young paired with the old, not sort of young like an 18-year-old, really young like a 5-year-old. With humans, pairing the equivalent of an 18-year-old with a 47-year-old might be acceptable, whereas pairing a 47-year-old with a 5-year-old is definitely not. All of this is certainly not good for the young host, as it sucks dry of its vitality. The younger the host, the more vitality there is to be had. I'm going to stop. Well, no, we only got a little bit to go, so I'm going to go. In McKay's first parabolic aging experiment, after old and young rats were joined for 9 to 18 months, so they are joined together, the older animal's bones became similar in weight and density to the bones of the younger counterpart. McKay's experiment was originally funded by Rockefeller Foundation. Scroll down the sample page and note the study was done with grants from the Office of Naval Research in conjunction with none other than the Rockefeller Foundation. It seems this organization has its fingers in every little pie. Indeed, Rockefeller Foundation has been funding its research in aging since 1936 and continuously over the course of his career. If anyone would embody the spirit and behavior of vampires by sucking off the vitality of young and naive, it would certainly be the very same elite who lied to us as a means of keeping us all controlled. All right, we're going to stop right there. So, the question is still on the board. I ain't hear nobody respond. I don't know if anybody out there. But y'all can hit me at that ambrosia at Gye-Nyame or Hatim, HA2TIM at Gye-Nyame and respond to the question. If somebody offered you, now let's move it up, $100,000 to be paired with them for 6 months because of your healthy blood, would you do it? Right? Better yet, would you go in every day and get them treatments for, let's say, 60 days or something like that? I don't know. Would you do it? Would you give your blood up? Question, All right. On to the article that I wanted to talk about, and then we'll get out of here. Now, for those sensitive, I've started posting up tying, not tying videos. I'm starting with the Pratt knot. I call it the easiest knot in the game. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to grow from the Pratt knot, because after you get comfortable with doing the Pratt knot, we're going to move to other knots. But once you get comfortable with one knot and you master it, you're going to start experimenting with other knots, right? Now, I know a lot of people out there like, Brother Hatem, why you tie knots? You didn't even like knots. I didn't. And I figured, and I learned this in school, I figured that if I got to do it, I might as well make it fun. So I figured out how to make wearing ties fun for me, right? And also after I'm doing my research, because I research everything, I did research on the belt. We could talk about that for your young people when you're talking to young men. I did research on the tie. Now, where the tie come from, it was part of military uniforms for certain warrior groups. One, as a sign of distinction to set you away from everybody else, but also the silk around your neck could protect your neck from a light strike across your throat. You know what I'm saying? Silk is very strong, and it could protect the neck. Also, if need be, you could take a tie off, just like you could take a belt off, and it's a weapon. Listen, purpose, that Nia, man. Yesterday was Nia. It's purpose in everything we do. The shoes you got on, the socks that you put on under your shoes, the very way the pants are designed with the loops, the way the belt, why we got belts. Dude, it's a purpose for everything. You have to start identifying a purpose and be able to use them. I be looking at these people in horrible situations and they end up getting killed, you know what I'm saying, when they were sitting with a fucking weapon on their body. Come on, man. All right. How you use a belt as a weapon? First off, a belt can be a long-range weapon to kill somebody off of you. You could grab it to make it really deadly. You grab it by the end. You grab it not by the buckle side, but by the end of the belt, and use the buckle as a projectile and swing it, and you always got it, right? You can wrap it around your fist to protect your knuckles, to keep your knuckles tight and knock somebody out, right? You can use it to protect your hand if you have to. If you have time, you can fold it up and grip it within your fist, which cause all the bones and the muscles to compress so that when you punch, it's a little bit more solid, right? You can use it to strangle somebody. You can use it as a rope to escape, to give you a couple more inches on the jump. You know what I'm saying? Any more questions? You can use it to set a booby trap, to trip somebody. You can use it to tie somebody up. All right, I'm done. All right. So, like I said, that's not things. We'll talk about that, All right. On to the article. Oh, another article. There is a video of Puffy Sean Combs doing a speech, and one of my brothers posted up that this sounds like the steps in the Players Pyramid. For those who don't know, the Players Pyramid is a book that I wrote that talks about the steps to building something, the steps to building your life, the steps to building towards success. I used to write my books, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a symbolic thing that you could use to help you make it through any task, from writing a research paper to running a company. You could do it, right? All right. Now on. I'm almost there. Check out my calendar. I will be updating it. But here's the article. Get ready. Get ready. And we done. All right. Y'all ready? I'm going to read this whole article. I need to go on and get me some more ambrosia. Because I know some of y'all going to be mad. Share the video. When you get on here, share. Subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Like the Gye-Nyame page. Go to my Facebook, not my Facebook, go to my YouTube page and like. Please. Right? Spread the word. Because I'm building. I'm not playing. Right? And I figured that if some of the suckers out there that got over 100,000 viewers and stuff like that, you go on and do it and just spending the money on themselves, hell, I could do it and do some nice trips. I was just talking to my sister last night. I would love to take about 50 kids on a cross-country train ride where we could ride all the way out to the Grand Canyon and possibly have the hiking equipment and do some hiking out there in the Grand Canyon, and let them see just how small they are when they go out there and take a look at that. But also, as we go across the country, they'll be able to have the experience of doing that. And then better yet, I can use that money and take a group of kids and some adults to Ghana, to Senegal, to Egypt. Let's build, man. We could do this. There's people on YouTube right now, right? That's doing 10,000, 20,000, and hell, I was just kind of wondering how much Marcus Brownlee, if you ain't never heard of that dude, Marcus Brownlee, you know what I'm saying? He do the videos talking about the phones and shit. He got over 1 million viewers. So it's people that's got 150,000 viewers that's doing 10,000 a month. If they doing 10,000 a month with 150,000, how much money is Marcus Brownlee making? That dude doing about 100K a month. That's why he got all that goddamn equipment. I was wondering, where you get all this equipment from? Just YouTube. This is a fucking job. This is why when people was like, Brother Hatim, why are you trying to move over and do videos over on YouTube? What? Because Facebook own your shit, and Facebook more than likely will not pay you for it. They ain't paying us for our shit. We need to be thinking about business. Fuck being seen. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I love the fact that some of y'all thumbs up and shit like that. I love the fact that y'all interact. I love that shit. But that ain't business. That ain't business. All right. They say my connection is weak, so I don't know how long Facebook is going to be up. All right. Here go the article. Why are black people obsessed with the Bible that was used to enslave them? This article is from the Ghana homepage. This is not Brother Hatim. This is a Ghanaian, right? Or somebody writing for a Ghanaian newspaper. Now, I don't agree with everything in the article, but I do want to open the conversation and ask the questions that she asks, right? When I became a born-again Christian in 2008, this her. I started studying the Bible word for word. I would spend hours a day reading all the commentaries for all the verses I studied. The more I studied, the more I realized that most of the Christians around me did not believe everything that was in the Bible. It was either that they did not know half of the Bible, or they knew and choose to ignore. As a person who always thought deeply about things, it was crystal clear to me that half of the Bible was very disturbing to the human mind. If today people live by the Bible rules from Genesis to Revelations, they will be deemed mentally unstable, barbaric, or even evil. If a man raped a woman, their punishment was to marry the woman by paying a dowry to the father. It was irrelevant whether the woman loved the man or not. There was no such thing as human rights as we know it today. In wars, the Israelites would kill their enemies, including the women and children, without mercy, and would take the virgins to be their wives. Bible character Lot offered his own virgin daughter to be gang raped by men of Sodom so that the angels of the Lord would be spared. But in the eyes of God, he was a righteous man. There are a lot of other practices and laws in the Bible which they are seen as beyond barbaric. The Christians of the day will skip all those disturbing scriptures and cherry pick on the ones which are positive and make them feel good, both in the New and Old Testament. One of the biblical scriptures that remain untouched today is slavery. The hard truth is that both in the New and Old Testament, slavery was never condemned by God. The biblical era itself was an era of slavery. Slave masters was told how to buy slaves and how to treat them. In the New Testament, slaves were simply ordered to obey their masters. Jesus Christ himself was mute on the issue of slavery. He never said a word against the practice, which was very common in his day. He could have simply told the slave of his day to start a social movement to fight against the injustice of slavery. Slaves could have started Slaves Lives Matter movement, protesting in the streets, but Jesus Christ never encouraged such. The new Christians themselves had slaves. In the book of Philemon, the Apostle Paul sent a slave who had escaped back to his Christian master because it was the right thing to do. When I first became a Christian, I remember writing about the topic of slavery according to what the Bible said, and the article was obviously not well received. Now, because she about to hit on the conscious community too, so Christians, hold on. Now, this brings me to the black man, the white man, and slavery. Today, black people are always looking for answers as to why they are still suffering and why they were enslaved. But the truth is that white men did not introduce slavery to the world. It was there since the beginning of time. In fact, in Africa, slavery was rife way before the white men landed there. Black people had black slaves. When the white men got to Africa, they were introduced to the concept of slavery by the black men. It was the black people, black masters, who sold their own slaves to white people. Black people were fighting each other, tribe against tribe, enslaving the defeated tribes. The white men simply saw an opportunity and beat the black people at their own game. Damn. Look, I got to take a sip and look in. I sipped on the other one, so. The whites had something the blacks did not have, the Bible. The good book gave them the authority to overpower the black race. The white man taught the black men the Bible, and with scriptures like these, they were justified to enslave. Slaves, obey your earthly master in everything, and do it not only when their eyes is on you and to curry their favor, but with sincerity of heart and reverence for the Lord. Colossians 3:22. Today, the black men still cry that they were enslaved by whites, but will not accept the fact that they played a huge part in the transatlantic slave trade. In no way am I saying that white men were justified in what they did, but I believe the bigger blame is actually with the people who sold their own brethren into slavery. Who is more to blame, the slaves who brought Joseph or his own brothers who sold him into slavery? God damn, that's a good question. Hold on. God damn, that's a good question. I ain't even agree with all this, but god damn. She bring it to everybody. This is a discussion we need to have. Black people will never get anywhere unless, let me make sure I'm still recording. Check. Yep. Black people will never get anywhere unless they stop preaching half-truths about racism, colonization, and slavery. We have to confront our own history and deal with it. Culture cures. Our forefathers allowed themselves to be indoctrinated by the Bible so that they could be enslaved. They were not smart enough to think for themselves at this point. They were even more in numbers than the whites. Yet with the Bible, they were cons into slavery and one of the greatest evils ever done to mankind. If black people are asked to think critically when holding the same Bible that enslaved them, they refuse to question what's in the Bible as they fear they will be sinning against God. And this is a problem. This is a problem everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Asking questions is a sin on your job. Asking questions is a sin in church. Nobody wants you to think. And that's all I'm trying. That's why I talk about blowing up your paradigms. Where my daughter love that. She might be listening. This for Gina. Because we strive to blow up those old paradigms. Family, start asking them damn questions. You got to start asking questions. Man. All right. If black folks are actually think critically when holding the same Bible that enslaved them, they refuse to question what's in the Bible, as they fear they will be sinning against God. The white slave masters were Bible-believing, sincere Christians. They went to Africa to spread the gospel and saw opportunity to enslave black people to make their lives better using the very gospel they were spreading. Now check this out. Check this, how she switched this real quick. Today, the white man has finished with the Bible. In fact, they are finished with God. They have removed God from their schools and systems. They are now the masters of atheism. They call the Bible an evil, uncivilized book. However, they are still reaping the benefits of what the Bible gave them, slavery and colonization. God damn. They are the most privileged people in the world. And the only reason why they are privileged is because their forefathers used the Bible to enslave black people and better their lives. And that is the inheritance of white people. Now, I'm going to stop for a second. There are some arguments that can be launched against what this author is saying, right? But the fact of the matter, think about what she's saying. Don't just get emotional. Don't just get upset. Think about what she's saying. Listen, she ain't say stop being a Christian. She ain't saying Christianity is wrong all the way. But she is raising some thoughts, right, about how this doctrine was used, right? Which we got to be willing to ask these questions, people, if we want to be free. As for black people, still divided today, still suffering as hell, still experiencing the after effects of colonization, which will probably never end, they will hold and defend the Bible to the death. Blacks are forever trying so hard to get to where the white man is today, but no matter how the blacks try, they are not able to catch up. Africa seems to be getting worse by the day. Black people are going mad with Christianity. Some even drinking sewage because their pastors say so. Last year in Nigeria, a pastor and his congregation were burnt to death after he poured petrol on himself and the congregation and lit the room on fire, saying God would not allow them to burn. God damn. We got to think, people. We got to think. Because the same group thought process that goes in with that was the same group process that went on with making it okay in those teenagers' mind to go and torture that boy in Chicago that I started this whole thing with. Groupthink, right? Groupthink. Oh, the pastor said God is not going to allow us to burn, and he poured that shit on him and all those people and murdered them. You know, stupidity and ignorance is a motherfucker, right? And it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And I know some of y'all like, I never got caught up in that shit, but everybody has been caught up in some crowd thought, some group think bullshit that when you thought about it later, you was like, that was stupid as fuck. Even though I am a black woman, that's not me, that's her. Y'all questioning that shit? Look at this shit here. Look at that. Full growth. You know, only a well-aged man could get this shit. This that silverback shit right here. You know what I'm saying? This that OG shit. Guess what I heard yesterday? Somebody told me, you ain't hear from me, that now you're considering an OG at 25. The fuck? What? I thought I was in the OG committee. I ain't heard that shit. Did y'all vote on that shit? Anybody out there voted on OGs being 25? You become an OG at 25. Please, you know what I'm saying? Another question. I'm going to put it on the timeline. OG at 25. How do you feel about this? I'm going to post both of those up on my poll, on my timeline, as well as my Gye-Nyame Journey timeline. Let's get the vote. Now, I want to see. 25 makes you an OG. Then what the fuck am I? What the fuck is some of y'all out there? All right. Even though I'm a black woman, I fail to understand black people. All I know is there's something seriously wrong with them. Now, I want you to listen to how she speaks, right? Because she has removed herself from, so we know why. So she removed herself from Christianity, and we see how she coming. Now she has removed herself from black people, and listen to it, because this is part of the psychosis with us, right? We don't claim what's ours. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm a black woman, I don't understand black people. All I know, I fail to understand black people. All I know is there's something seriously wrong with them rather than us, right? And it only comes out when they hold the Bible. I do not understand now, because I'm going to say this. I know some very powerful, conscious, hard-working individuals that hold the Bible. And this is the point I want to make. This is why I don't want testimonies on one end or the other. Because I understand that it's not necessarily the religion or the book, it's the individuals. It's sort of like martial arts, like I tell you all the time. It don't matter what martial arts you take, right? If you a Kurd, you're going to be a Kurd. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. That's why when people talk, what's the best martial art? No, it depends on who's the better man. God damn it, don't matter. You know? So it's not necessarily the tool that you use to get you to where you are. You know what I'm saying? But I like to recognize the faults in all the tools, even the whole conscious shit, right? So, but I talk about that as well. So this is why I can't really, I'm conscious, but I can't really ride with some of the shit that's going on at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? I'm spiritual, but I'm not anti-Christian. I'm not anti anything. So I need y'all to understand. But all of y'all are my family, right? If you choose that, I support you. I don't necessarily support that shit because I see what it does to those whose mind is not ready, whose mind is not strong. I support them. Okay, hold on. We got official OG that just texted in with his old ass. Kente Ahmad about to get cussed out. Here you go. He say, OG at 25 because the life expectancy has dropped dramatically. If you in the streets and you get to your 25th birthday, congrats. Because the majority of killing that goes on is youth under the age of 22. Bullshit! I'm sorry, I sneezed. All right, I hear you, Kente. And I understand, right? But still, 25? Motherfuckers still don't know how to take a full shower at 25. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. We need to start defining these parameters, even for these fucking games, right? That whole 25 OG shit means, because OG, maybe OG is different than when I was young. OG gave you a certain credibility. OG made it possible for you to make life and death calls. And I don't want a 25-year-old in these streets able to make life and death calls. Because at 25, I was dumb as fuck. I'm just saying, you know. But I wasn't really in the streets. I was in those campus streets, goddamn it, kicking it, learning something in them libraries, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? In them libraries, that's where I was. Fuck all that, y'all. Hey, y'all can have them goddamn streets, cause my Hold on. Kids, they hit me up again. Sorry, YouTube. He says, laughing out, most of us are smart enough to live in the streets, to leave the streets before we turn 25. Okay, yeah. Thank God, Because, hey, listen, dude, I'm telling you, man, it's so much more out there. We got to start exposing our young people to that stuff. That's part of what I'm trying to do with Gye-Nyame. I need y'all to understand there is more out there than the shit that they are giving us. And we need to let our kids know that. The world is bigger than the hood. The world is bigger than the block. And we got to make sure that our children are able to go outside the block. Right? If you love your child, find a way to get your child up off that block. And I'm not talking about sending them to Aunt Cece's house that's living another motherfucking block. You know what I'm saying? We do camping trips. My goal is to do 6 of them this year. I need tents. I need more ovens so we could cook out on the field. We're going to do our first trip behind Millennium Community School. I know that's not out in the forest, but it's separated enough where we can have our kids in a safe place where they can run and play and have a good time. But that's just a primer, because then we're going to the woods, right? The next trips we're going to the woods. But the point that I'm trying to make is, parents, don't just drop your kids off. Bring your ass out too, right? When you come to these events, whether it's here in Columbus, because those people that want to set up something like this in your city, I have no problem coming. I have no problem bringing our equipment. I have no problem getting my brothers and bringing them. Send us an invite. You know what I'm saying? Help us to get down there. I'm quite sure I get individuals that could come down there and help train you to get you where you are. Hell, get in touch with Simba. You can send some of your kids to Simba Circle. There's other camps out there that you can. Well, I ain't talking about the other camps. I'm talking about my family. Let me keep it family, because everybody else is keeping it family, right? Simba or Gye-Nyame. Simple choice, right? I come to you, and then on top of that, I suggest highly that you plug into Simba, because what Simba does, Simba brings people together nationally, right? So your child will be able to go to Simba camp and experience being around other kids in other cities and see that they're not alone in their struggle. That's the problem with a lot of our young people. They believe they're alone in their struggle. So they think that they come from the only hood that's going through this shit. They think they're the only one that got a dead homie at his age or some shit like that. They're the only one that had their heart broke. When they come to Simba, they see that it's happening in Detroit. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in Columbus. It's happening in any other city that shows up. We just need y'all. That's it. Right? So with Gye-Nyame, because actually Gye-Nyame was created as an extension of Simba. Gye-Nyame is a tribe. You know what I'm saying? It's a tribe in the family of Simba. Now, and I know a lot of people don't understand that, and I don't even care whether you understand it or not. But the point is, my goal is to train people so that they know how to act when they go to Simba. Train nation builders so they know how to act when they go to Simba, so they could bring some value to it. A lot of people don't agree with that, and I dig that shit, right? I'm not mad, but I have to do what I do, right? So the point is, in local areas, if you need help building up something, right, we could come to you and we could train you how to do the camping trips. We can help you set up the camping trips so you can start doing them on your own so that you can start taking advantage of the wooded area around you. Because if the balloon goes up, if something drastic happens, you need to be able to pack your shit up and meet at a designated point where everybody's going to be. And more than likely, that designated point is not going to be in the goddamn city. It's going to be somewhere where you get access to water. It's going to be somewhere where you are away from all the madness, where if people coming for you, you're going to be able to hear them from a mile away. You're going to be able to set up points where you can have people hiding in the bushes to know when people are coming. Dude, this shit is real. Right? I'm sorry. Got off the point. That OG shit. I'm going to put that up. But I hear you, Kente. You an expert. You know, I just watch the street from the sideline and sip. I didn't have ambrosia then, but if I had ambrosia, I'd be sipping. Right? All right. So, she said, even though I'm a black woman, I fail to understand black people. All I know, there is something seriously wrong with them. Once again, I have to stress, she put herself outside of, when you say them, that's away from you. And it only comes out when they hold the Bible. I do not understand why now she back in. I do not understand why we are now the main defenders of religion that was used to enslave us. I do not understand why it is only us who refuse to put the Bible down for even 10 minutes just to think. I do not understand why, let me put this down. I have to put it down carefully. All right, you two live, we back. All right, I do not understand. Where's she at? Oh, I do not understand why it's only us who refuse to put the Bible down for even 10 minutes just to think. I do not understand why we moan about racism, slavery, and oppression when the Bible we love so much dearly does not condemn it. If you want to be where whites are today, the only solution is to do what the white people do today, which is to question everything and think. Remove the Bible from your head for just 1 hour and question and think. It's not being demon possessed and it's not being evil. It's called freedom. Unless you will ever get to this place as black people, you will forever be in chains. And it is clear to me that even in 2017, black people are not ready for freedom. As I finish the article, I leave my reader with only 2 questions. Why are black people so obsessed with the Bible, which is the book that caused their suffering? And why is it that they are the only people who, when holding the Bible, refuse to question anything or think? Now, lines are open, 614-556-4535. Once again, that's 614-556-4535. I know a lot of people probably won't call in because it's early morning, it's Saturday, you still sleep. But we can have this discussion another time. If enough of y'all hit me up, I'll get back live and we can chop it up. My line will hold 100 people. I got 100 people arguing, but if once your ass start getting into the testimonies on either side of this shit, I'm cutting you off, right? Because I don't want to hear about the questions. I want to hear about, because you don't have to read, because I don't agree with everything that she said, but the point is, she brought up good points. As far as wisdom mining, I have to be able to go through the dirt. I have to be able to go through the mud. I have to get filthy so that I can find the gems. And in here, there are some gems that all of us can grow from. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm done. Right now, I'm reading a book, or I'm listening to a book by this white boy named Seneca. Seneca was a Stoic philosopher. And Seneca states in his book that the only thing that separates the man from freedom is his fear of death. He says all of our passions, all of our connections to life hold us, but none hold us to life or to our own imprisonment more than our fear of death. Because in order to get over the fear of death, we got to let go of a lot of the old passions, like the hanging on to our vehicles and the fearing of what's going to happen to our children if we're not here. The main thing that holds us in slavery is fear. Black folks, what are you fearing? Stop fearing death. That's true revolutionary. All right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I operate with reckless abandonment, because a lot of our young people believe not having fear means that you just do whatever the fuck you want anytime you want. No, I'm a staunch advocate against dying stupidly. Right? I believe in strategy, right? You know what I'm saying? Being unfearful of death does not coincide with being stupid or being disrespectful or being unprincipled or doing what you want when you want, regardless of who it hurts. Now, you still got to maintain those principles, right? So I'm closing this out on Seneca. I'm saying, think about that, Burst. I want to thank whoever. I think that's Kente, bruh. Listen, man, I love you. You got you some free ambrosia coming. Come see your brother. I got the same number I had when you was 10 years old and in love with your first pistol. Hit your brother up. I got you. I got you. I got a big box. You better get over here. Because people about to come buy these up, right? I mean, actually donate to Gye-Nyame and buy them up. But yo, this is Brother Hatim. Like and subscribe, share, right? Like, subscribe, and share. I want to thank you for spending your morning with me. I'm about to sit myself down. I'm going to do a meditation video, and that's only going to be for those in the journey, because I'm telling you, this shit will change your life. Also, I'm gonna do a little. I'll probably do a little something on the after 5 eating one period a day. You know what I'm saying? So I want to because like I'm telling you, y'all, just the simple traits. I want y'all to think about this, man. They got us believe in so many things that are false. Like, you got to eat 3 times a day. Dude, I'm going through and eating once. It's like at first I was pigging out after 5. But now I'm not even eating a lot. And I'm able to make it all throughout the day. And I'm moving, right? It's cold out here. For some reason, the cold makes me want to run. So I'm going to talk about the meditation. I'm going to talk about the diet and change the diet, because some of y'all might not have to change your diet. You might not have to drop some of your favorite shit. You just might have to eat it strategically, right? I know some of you pork eaters out there. You know some of you meat eaters. Y'all ain't going to get that shit up. So rather than arguing with a motherfucker, be like, yo, dude, I only eat 1 time a day. So I eat what the fuck I want, right? Check that out. Lose weight, have more energy, right? You train your body to burn what it needs to burn for energy, rather than burning the sugar and all these carbs that they give us, or the sugars that's in everything. Rather than burning that shit for energy, your body start learning to burn fat. What is that? That's a cleaner, more powerful, and longer burn. Now, for those that want to lose weight, this is the perfect way, mixing it with that ambrosia, doing the after 5, and doing the meditation, and then also doing what Wim Hof talk about, is immersing yourself in the cold water. These things all help you as far as getting in shape, as far as getting your breath together. Then there's a certain point where you do an exercise, and I'm gonna show you how to do the exercises for Gye-Nyame as well. You know what I'm saying? Like the specific yoga that we do. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Is the same thing that's out there. The only thing I'm doing is I'm sharing it on our platform, and I'm changing. I'm making sure that y'all understand that just like these motherfuckers discovered America, came in, changed the name, claimed it, and staked their flag on it, you had the self-determination to do the same shit. You have the same rights to do it, just like I claimed the weak. See, that's what a lot of y'all don't understand, right? Y'all laugh at me because I'm talking. I claimed it. So regardless of whoever do it, I claimed that shit. I discovered the weak. Prior to me, there was none. You know what I'm saying? They was mumbling and shit until I applied Nia and Kuumba and the Mani to that shit, right? That's how they did us. So claim it. It's yours, right? Just like these exercises, because I ain't even getting, look, far as the video, I'm going to talk with you about they call it the chakras, right? I changed the name of those 20 years ago. Fuck all them long names from India. Fuck all that. I got names that you can pronounce and that you can easily remember. And through the process, you will focus on each one of the points. So those of you that's out there doing all those other folks shit, I'm trying to bring it home. That's all I'm trying to do. That's it. This is Brother Hatim. I'm saying I'm out. Thank you for tuning in. Shouts out to everybody out there. Follow the channel on YouTube. So if you go back to my timeline, Hatim, Brother Hatim, also I'm going to post it up on Gye-Nyame Journey. Click and go and subscribe to the YouTube channel because that helps us raise funds too, right? Peace. I want to make sure I wasn't all ashy. Come to the people. On the road again. Baby, on the road again. What's up? Good morning. I just sent you. Sent you something on Facebook. I was wondering if you should have my number. Well, shit, I'm at the house. Like I said, I'll text you the address, and shit, I'm gonna be here till 3. I'm gonna be up at the school. I'm gonna be at the school. I'm probably go up to the school about 1:30, 2 o'clock, because I got my group today. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, cool. I'll bring you something in. You got 3 bottles coming. I got 3 kinds for you to go on this out. All right. So, um, but you need to get your ass when you pop them motherfuckers. You need to go on and send some shots out on YouTube or I mean on Facebook or whatever. I think you got a couple of thousand fans and shit. Hey, dude, you doing good. I see you showing people your business and shit. Right, right. Well, cool. So yeah, Allende does the African dance. I gotta get somebody up there for the martial arts part. Oh shit, I'm still taping. I forgot. All right, let me go on in. All right, hey. All right, Spreaker. All right, peace. All right, Spreaker fam. I'm sorry I forgot that I was taping, but hey, y'all caught some of the conversation that I have. Um, so with that, I'm out. Thank you very much for tuning in.